think about this latest incident?
Very sad, and it could have been avoidable. We've always said, and so has Derm, that if you're taking children onto the island, they've got to be accompanied, no more than this far apart. Fraser Island is a wilderness island. There's a lot of wild animals there. People don't go swimming. Why not? Sharks, stingrays, so you don't want to get hurt. Same with Fraser Island with the dingoes. They are a wild animal, but they're also very curious. They like being with people, have been for years, hundreds of years. Like the Aborigines even, was, after Eliza Fraser land on the island, dingoes like being near people. Not so you can pat them, but they just like being in your presence. And the government seem to have difficulties in accepting that. And no matter what they do with the hazing, trapping, shooting, all that sort of stuff, it's not going to stop a dingo's instinct. There's something embedded in here that's thousands of years old, and no one's going to change that. So what happened, it should never have happened. The parents, or the mother and the grandmother, should have stayed with the children, but we all know what kids are like. They're always here. Mum's trying to get out the car to go shopping, the kids are running off. It's that sort of thing. You don't know what kids are going to do. They're unpredictable, but this should never have happened. And Mum sort of feels sorry for their family, in the sense that the poor little girl, she's going to be scarred, probably mentally too. But the thing is with dingoes, if anything's going to move, they're going to chase it. Mine do exactly the same. We've got the dogs or the dingoes essentially. If anything starts to move, they're going to be on it. And as we understand from an eyewitness that the child ran into the bushes and the dingo was near another guy's vehicle. The parents didn't even know what was going on. They were watching a barge come in. And so the child was behind and sort of ran off into the bushes. The dingo saw it and the dingo started chasing. And they grabbed the kid and the kid fell down, and they, from what I understand, they sort of go and bite for the groin. Any animal that a dingo or dog pulls down, they always sort of go to that weakest point. And that's what happened there. So fortunately people there quick enough, and they said it didn't last any more than 5 seconds. So they managed to save the kid and chase the dingoes off. But as I keep saying, it's a wilderness island. You've got to behave yourself. When you go there, it's not the local beach. You've just got to be careful. So I just think it was just an unfortunate accident where the mother and the grandmother were probably watching the barge come in, forgetting the kids just nicked off, and this is what's happened. They're so quick. It should never have happened, but unfortunately did, and now they're probably going to kill the dingoes.
They are going to put both dingoes down. Do you agree with that decision?
No. Now Dermot set themselves a standard. There's 6 weeks ago I think it was, there was a fisherman up north was grabbed by a crocodile. He was in mangrove sort of stuff. A crocodile grabbed him, dragged him underwater. He managed to get free. Dermot have gone up there to try and grab the crocodile and relocate it. Now, the crocodile's in its own territory. The fisherman shouldn't have been there. The same here now with the dingoes. What has happened, it should never have happened, but you don't kill the dingoes because of that. We have to show respect for them. We are the intruders on their homeland, not the other way around. And now, I don't know, there's about 5,000 people have gone to the island over Easter, and what people don't understand is that suddenly the dingo is suddenly, it's like having claustrophobia. You've got all these vehicles and peoples and sounds and smells pressing in, and if it's a pup, from what I gather these ones probably a little bit older than that, but it's all pretty scary for them. And to suddenly have people everywhere which weren't there a week ago, and because people don't understand how a dingo thinks, that's why we've got these problems. And until, we've got to get the education out there, it's as simple as that. And we're all trying, but unfortunately some tourists will not listen. The government have all these brochures that they're handing out. A lot of people just chuck them in their glove box. They're not reading them. So I know Terry Harper and Ross Belcher from Durham, they're really frustrated because they're trying all this stuff, but the tourists aren't listening. And this is where we've got a problem. But I think we've got to start putting a cap on how many tourists are going on. Because at the moment now, we're heading into the breeding season for the dingoes, and it all gets a bit antsy. Everyone's trying to work out who they're going to pair up with. Mine at the moment are in coming to breeding season, and it all gets really sort of aggro type up until they sort it all out. But to have all these people on there, it's just making matters worse. Because this didn't happen a week ago or 3 weeks ago, it's happened at Easter. Why? Thousands of people just coming on the island, and people just don't realise it's a dingo's backyard. So if suddenly we had like 50 people all walking around here, you'd get a bit stressed. That's what happens, they're stressed.
Good point.
But anyway.
Lovely.
Long answer?
That was brilliant though. You touched everything without me even having to ask you.
That's all I need. We know what we want to say.
Yeah, this is like you said, a long-going issue. Like every time someone gets bitten, there was an incident when I was working in Harvey Bay not long ago where I think it was an Asian woman got bitten on the hand.
Korean woman.
That dingo got put down run and it barely even hurt her.
Well, I got issues with that too, because I think Terry Harper said that, they always said that it's a dingo attack. Well, it's not an attack. If you understand dingo, it's a lot of it's play. They leave in the range, we've been circled by dingoes. We've got half a dozen dingoes. They'll just hang around you. So suddenly, we've been circled and we're going to get attacked. They just hang around. You stop doing anything, they'll just walk off. They get bored very, very quickly. But I think with that Korean lady, we haven't found the full story of that, because they said she just went off on her holidays. So she didn't have to go to hospital. Now I've got a bite here that went there, around the front. I've got two dingoes were having a fight a few years ago, and I've got one bite on the leg. I was in hospital for 3 days and about 3 or 4 months of healing. I've got photos of that, which I'll give you different. And that was just one bite. So to say, dingoes attack someone now, they'll jump up and their claw might touch on the hand, and I've got scratches, sort of red marks there. And that is just their play behaviour.
Well, you can, I've been bitten by a domestic dog. That's definitely with scars. Yeah. So that's the dogs, aren't they? They've got
domestic dog will actually do more damage than the dingo.
So they've got the teeth. Because they're carnivores.
Well, we've got 2 legs and 2 hands and a head. They've got the same. They've just got 4 legs and they dance around too, but it's just a matter of understanding.
Ray, what do you think about this latest dingo attack? What do you make of it?
Like Simon had said, this is just an out of the blue thing. It's that time of the year, so it's holiday season, and if everyone thinks seriously about it, every time there is a problem or an attack, when is it? It's holiday time. It doesn't happen in between those times, it just seems to happen when there's a major encroachment of people on the island. Now, and part of that can be all the foreign smells, the strange smells, people are cooking outdoors, they're cooking barbecues, and those smells will travel, and these dogs can actually pick these smells up from absolutely phenomenal distances. So they're going to follow the smells. People are people. Not all of us carry tissues. They'll have to wipe or wash their hands, wipe your hands on your clothes. You will carry that smell with you wherever you go. So you're actually inviting them to come closer. They're a curious animal. They're, in my eyes, they're not a dangerous animal. I mean, I've got 2 at the sanctuary now, and I adore them. They're lovable things, and they're a great educational attraction at the sanctuary as well. What happened on the island, I mean, it's a regrettable thing, it's an upsetting thing. It's upsetting for all of us, the department and us guys that are passionate about the island and the dingoes as well. I feel very sorry for the young girl that it's happened to. She will be traumatised for quite some time, but it's an avoidable thing. Now Queensland Parks and Wildlife will be ferocious. It's been said many, many times. The ferocious never get rid. They just do whatever with them, light fires, using this toilet paper, I'm not real sure, but most of the time they never ever are wrecked. So people aren't being educated in a better way, and I feel a better way to do it is as they're travelling over by boat, we have a video going or a DVD going, and a lot of people are going to be bored as they're travelling over, so they're going to watch and they'll pick up little things from that. But it has to be in a lot of different languages too, not just in the Australian language, because we have a lot of international visitors go over there, do not understand a lot of what we have there. Yes, we had signs over there that are in certain languages, but not with all. That's the big problem. I mean, if we were to go all the languages, the sign would be humongous. And maybe that's what we need, humongous signs. Good flashing lights on it. We've got to understand these are wild animals. Fraser Island is a wild island. It's natural. It's natural heritage. There's a lot of other animals on that island that are also wild, the goannas and they can also do some horrendous things. So people have got to be aware of what's going on over there. Be focused on their children, where their children are, where their children are playing. If your children turn away and start to head, you follow. Don't just stand there, they'll be fine. Not necessary. There's 40 guys driving up and down that beach. Unfortunately, that could be the next to happen on the island.
Do you think dingoes are paying the price because humans are making them stop? Like these dingoes are going to pay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. The poor dingo is the one that's ultimately suffering for human stupidity. We all make mistakes. We all do. I mean, we're human too. Humans that tend to make a heck of a lot of mistakes in life. But the dingo seems to be the one that is being played out to be the nasty animal of it all. They're not. They're doing what comes natural. Their behaviour is natural. Their instincts, that's what they were born with. Some of these are young dogs, so they're going through a learning routine too. We have the alphas over there, which actually teach the dogs their behaviour patterns. And some of these dogs are ignoring that like teenagers ignore their parents at times. It's no different in a lot of ways, but people must be aware of what's going on around them. Don't just turn your back on the wilderness, because the wilderness will come out and bite you.
What's the alternative to shooting the dogs?
We have a lot of sanctuaries in Australia. If these are going to be continuous clobbering dogs, why don't we relocate them to some of those sanctuaries? Just because I have one doesn't necessarily mean my place. We've got them all over Australia. Let's preserve these guys. They need to be preserved and put them in those places if they're such a problem. I don't believe they're a problem. There's a lot of people that believe that they're not a problem as well. But it's just the public perception that these are nasty animals, but they all still go to the island. So if they're so nasty, why do you still go back there? I mean, the attraction of the island is the dingo.